Good morning, everyone. This is Lauren from Radical Ed Circle, and I wanted to just kind of touch base on what is going on and the process of where we're going as an institute, as an educational organization, as a place which you can go to for information and advice and suggestions on moving towards equitable practices within your schools, your businesses, your organizations, because we feel that's important. As a globalized world, as a culture, as a society, as a country that is moving at a quick pace, especially with the development of technology and how that influences our era, we have to know how to deal with everyone in an inclusive way, in an equitable way. And so what we're doing, what we're rolling out workshops and seminars and individual consultations that deals with diversity, inclusion, and equity. And I want to say that those three things together are important because diversity is, having people from different places, different backgrounds, social linguistic backgrounds, racial backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds. That can be disabilities, that can be sexual orientation, it can be anything to come together and join us at the table, right? But inclusion is when you are making not only space for different voices to be heard, but you're ensuring that the ways in which you do it are equitable. Thus, equity is a part of it as well. So you're making sure that there's of course ways in which people can come to the table, right? You're ensuring that there's a table for everyone. You're ensuring that the process of someone that may have been marginalized or silenced has a space to get there. That the way in which they get there is now harder. Is not is in existence, right? So, for example, something that we see very often that is that we may see through memes or Pinterest or Facebook or etc. Any online platform, I've seen this many times. I've seen it would be a picture of two or three individuals, right? And there's a fence in front of them, but they're standing on books or boxes or blocks. And these blocks and boxes are not the same for these three individuals because these three individuals are of different heights. And in order for them to reach over that fence at different heights, they are going to need help differently, right? So if I'm 5'5", or you're 6 foot tall, or that other individual is 5'10", you're going to need different adjustments in order to look over that same fence. Same thing when it comes to equity. Equity is the exact same way. Is that you're ensuring that despite we're not going for equality. Equality is not equity. Equality means that everyone has the same thing, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for equity. That this individual is given space, is giving resources that they need in order to be on the same playing field as the next person. That's what we're doing. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about equality. We're not talking about everyone has the same thing. That's not fair. That's not fair at all, actually. That's not fair. We want equity. We want to know that this individual right here that has been systemically, institutionally, culturally marginalized, silenced, oppressed, has the same resources. Not the same resources, but has an amount of resources to get him or her, she, they, him, they, wherever they have to go, right? And wherever they have to be. That's equity. So in the case of providing workshops and seminars on this specific topic, it can vary. It really can, depending on the circumstances, depending on what individuals are needing, certain skill sets, certain knowledge pertaining to maybe intersectionality, or issues of diversity, what diversity means, or what does social justice mean. What does all of this mean? And that's something that we are here to help with, to provide those answers to you. And so for me personally, I believe that it is imperative. It is extremely imperative, nearly urgent, that every place that serves individuals, that being face to face, over the phone, over internet, what have you, if you are dealing with human beings, if you're dealing with humans, that being, if you have a restaurant, that being if you have a consultation business, that being if you're a teacher or you're an administrator or you're a CEO, CFO, whatever your job may be, you must know how to be equitable in your practices. It's not even an option. It's not. Because in order for your business, your school, your company, your organization to thrive, you must be able to know how to deal with, how to provide, work with, communicate with, understand people that may not look like you, that may not sound like you, they may not be like you, that may not believe like you. That is your job. In order to be an individual, in order to be a boss, a CEO, a leader, you have to know how to provide environments, spaces for individuals of all capacities to thrive. We're not talking about tolerance. We're not talking about simply, accepting that someone's here that may not look like me. No. How do you include them in the space? What practices are you ensuring that they are truly a part of the organization, the school, the classroom, the business? What are you doing to ensure that this person does not feel left out? That this person is not jumping through loops just to get to where you got to be, or just to get to where you are? What are you ensuring? What are you doing? And that is what we're trying to do. We're trying to help individuals and companies and businesses to get to a place in which the individual and their company and their business can feel like, I belong here. I belong here. Bell Hooks, a black feminist from Kentucky, once wrote that conversation and dialogue is the root of getting towards transformation. It's a part of love. It's a part of building community. When you're able to have conversations and dialogue with people and ask questions and receive questions, yes, it's true. Like one black feminist said, her name is Joan Morgan. Sometimes you gotta just mess with the grays. What does that mean? That means that sometimes things are not black and white, and that things are in a gray area, as in things can get very messy and things can get kind of blurry. And you know what? That's okay. That is okay, because in order for us to grow and transform, we have to be able to deal with some hard stuff. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be simple. But a part of building community, striving towards community, is having difficult conversations, difficult dialogues that we may not be comfortable with. And that's okay. Running away from a problem, avoiding a problem, acting like it's not there, it's the problem. And it perpetuates the problem. And in that cycle of perpetuation, people are getting hurt, people are becoming excluded, marginalized, silenced, and oppressed. So once again, this is what we're really trying to hone and deal with as an educational institute. We're wanting to help companies and businesses and schools and individuals transform and develop their diversity, inclusion, and equity practices, because it's very important. Um, and we have to shift the way that we've been thinking towards something else, right? We all can grow. We all can provide equitable conditions for everyone that we meet, right? I remember someone told me that when someone meet you, the way they leave should be a lot better. One more time. When someone meets you, the way they leave should be a lot better. And that should be the experience of every last person. That the way that someone leaves you should show a lot about you, right? That when a person comes to your business, your school, your classroom, or when you're having talks with friends and family members, are you coming from a place of love and community, or are you coming from a place of division and marginalization, as in you're trying to marginalize people? Are you marginalizing people? Are you silencing people? Are you being inclusive? Are you being equitable? That's a question you should ask yourself. And that's very important, extremely important. I remember in my years of undergrad, I took a course over exceptional students. That being students with learning disabilities, intellectual disabilities, and etc. And the course was not required for me, but I took it. I was actually an English major, and I was taking a lot of education classes. And the course taught me a lot about looking at diversity, inclusion, and equity. For example, a lot of times when I was a young girl, I would go to school and then go to the playground, right? And, jump on the jungle gym, the swings, and etc. But once I took that class, it forces you just to shift your mind, your paradigm, right? For an individual that may be physically handicapped, right? Or, can be paralyzed, or maybe missing a limb, whatever the case may be. Is this playground an equitable space for them? Is this playground inclusive? Right? Like seriously, is it? Right? It's very ableist, right? A lot of times the way that we think about recess is very ableist, or physical education is very ableist, right? And that's something that I never thought of until then. And so when we're gaining information, when we're going to seminars and workshops and gaining information about this issue of inclusion and diversity and equity, it is not there simply for you to just take it in, but you need to take it in, let it soak, simmer, marinate, right? And take action. Take action, because let me tell you something. Once you shift your paradigm, your mindset, your framework, someone will become liberated, free. Someone's world will change for the better, because you made that choice to think in a way that is diverse, inclusive, and equitable. All right, until next time, it's been good. You can always contact me through email, radicaledcircle@gmail.com, on Facebook at Radical Ed Circle, on Twitter at Radical Ed Circle, and on Instagram at Radical Ed Circle. If you have any questions, any comments, you can always put them down below, and I can reply to them. Once again, good morning, and have a good day. And we'll talk soon. Bye.